What was that? The Cubs made a trade? Who was it? Scooble? Sonny Gray? Zach Gallen? David Peterson? I know, before you get the pitchforks out, before you throw in the towel, let's, take a deep breath. Let's be objective about this. Let's kind of look at the numbers and see what kind of pitcher we are going to get, because it looks like he's going to be starting as soon as the Milwaukee series this weekend. Oh, and before we go any further, hi, I'm Andrew. This is Arch Rival Sports. I am a Cubs fan in St. Louis. I grew up in St. Louis, but ended up rooting for the arch rival Chicago Cubs. If you like videos like this, do me a favor, hit subscribe. It takes 1 second. It'll be your good deed for the day. So, yeah, his stats are not good. He's got an ERA in the 6. He doesn't throw for velocity. He doesn't get chase. He doesn't strike anyone out. Really, the only thing he does well is get ground balls. But this might be where the solution lies. No matter which metric you look at, whether it be fielding percentage or defensive WAR, the Cubs are ranked near the top of the league and the Mets are at the bottom. Right now, David Peterson has a ground ball percentage of 51%, which would put him around the top 5 in all of baseball. So if you look at the amount of ground balls he's getting, and you imagine the Mets defense behind him, which committed like 6 errors the other night against Chicago, and then you picture Dansby, Nico, PCA out there behind him, you could see how the numbers could swing in a positive direction. And it's important to remember that David Peterson was an all-star last year. He had an amazing first half, and yeah, it did fall apart in the second half last year, but you can imagine a scenario where he has a reverse year from last year where it's rough in the first half and it's better in the second half. Now, a ground ball pitcher like David Peterson worships at the altar a BABIP. Everything he does comes down to kind of the luck of the draw of balls in play. Now, I'm not saying his high BABIP is all bad luck. Ground ball pitchers usually have a higher BABIP, but that can fluctuate depending on a lot of variables like defense. So this is where the good news is with David Peterson. If you look at David Peterson's FIP, his fielding independent pitching, which is taking only into account the things he can control, like strikeouts and walks, David Peterson actually has a really good FIP. He has a FIP of 385, which puts him in the ballpark of Logan Gilbert and his former Mets teammate Nolan McLean. You could argue a lot of his poor results have to do with the things he can't control, like the team around him. If you look at his Baseball Savant page, you see he's mostly a sinker, fastball, slider guy. And actually, he's throwing his slider more than he ever has. And I would argue the Cubs need to encourage him to throw the slider even more. Right now, he's throwing his slider 24% of the time, and it's generating a batting average of 226. That is really the only pitch he throws that is generating a batting average under 280. So if I'm the Cubs, I'm encouraging him to really lean on that slider. Again, we don't need David Peterson to go 8 innings with 10 strikeouts. We just need him to eat up innings, keep the ball in the ballpark, put the ball in play, let our defense work. And if our offense is playing the way it is right now, if he can go out there and give us 5 innings of 3-run ball, 6 innings of 4-run ball, that's all we need. Because with our entire opening day rotation, other than Shota Imanaga being hurt right now, we just need a warm body to pitch and someone who's not going to throw BP. All right, so that was a quick breakdown of David Peterson, what we could expect, looking at his peripherals, looking at his metrics, and building an optimistic case for what he could be. But who knows, this could all blow up in our face. I think it's a worthy risk on Jed Hoyer's part. Like, we got to do something. We're almost to a point where we just have no one to pitch. Let me know what you think of the David Peterson trade. Do you think it was something we should have done? Do you not like it? Do you think we should have got someone else? Let me know in the comments.